Hello everyone, Bashar here. We are together with another fusion video. You might have noticed the fusion warm-up in the game. So our new fusion is Ugir Tribes Legendary Spirit Affinity. It's an HP based champion, Ugir the Wyrmeater. Let's take a look at his kit. So the A1 books up to 100%. He steals a random buff, then puts up block buffs. Not too much Hydro use there, as you know we do want it AoE, but it does have a nice utility for an A1. Second, on a 3-turn cooldown he attacks everyone, removes all buffs, and then places weaken, right? Because it says then, I will assume that he will not be doing 25% increased damage with this attack, because weaken comes at the end. Okay, and last ability is a 3-turn cooldown, place an increased accuracy buff on everyone, which we have been seeing tons of. I don't know why. Everyone does do some sort of increased accuracy. Then he puts an increased defense on with higher defense champions and increased attack on higher attack champions, which is not bad, you know, because on higher attack champions you want attack, and on higher defense champions you want defense. So that will be a meaningful buff. The annoying thing with that is he doesn't hit with that ability, right? I kind of do like hitting. So if an ability is non-damaging, I think it should bring a little more to the table, right? So for example, if we compare this with Mitrala, you know, there is no increased accuracy, but there is increased defense and increased attack, and she hits and she applies hex, right? I mean, there is a lot of difference there. So I think this is a little bit weak, and the passive is interesting, guys. Whenever an enemy is revived, instantly does A2. And now comes the specific part. If the revived enemy is a lizard man, then the A2's effects cannot be resisted. This passive effect will only activate when an enemy is revived by using an active skill. So some Wukong's revive, you know, Brachus's revive, that kind of, you know, passive revives do not work. They will not trigger. And interesting thing is, if you activate A2 this way, it will not place a skill on cooldown. So it doesn't say that, but I am going to assume that this skill will work if the A2 is on cooldown as well. And it gets booked down to a single turn. Not bad, I guess. It's not like the enemy will get revived extremely often though. So the number of total books is 11. It is slightly above average, I guess, for a legendary. And we have a 70 ally accuracy aura in arena battles only. So I mean, he's not Hydro material, I would say. He is mostly meant for PvP, but as I said, if you have a utility skill for PvP, I think it should do more than increase accuracy and increase defense or attack, right? It should be doing a little more. The specific passive will be useful for, I think, tag team arena. So I think it's a little too specific for arena, but it could be useful in, you know, tag team arena. You know, they have a, you know, a lot of revives, you know, Duchess, Python, etc. And if you're confident that you can kill someone on that team, right, this will allow you to finish that battle quite quickly, right? Because imagine they revive, boom, A2 gets activated, right? You try to remove the buffs, then you try to place the weaken. The champion is of course severely susceptible to sheep polymorph, right? And the lizardman shenanigans is weird. I mean, why did they add such a weirdly specific effect? I mean, maybe it said something like Gale Impact, four factions that, comprise the Gale Impact, Lizardmen, Skinwalkers, Orcs, and who? I mean, you know what I mean. There are four big alliances that consist each of, four factions, except for the last one, because we don't have the 16th faction yet. We will at some point, I guess. I mean, so we will have four big alliances that consist of, four factions each. Maybe it could have said faction, because right now it's that alliance, because right now it feels like it's way too specific to have an actual use. But of course, the revive countering is, I mean, let's say you have some sort of Harima and a defensive team, and you bring this guy in, and they revive, and you do the A2. And if you have some sort of life harvest blessing as well, the fight will end quickly. Because sometimes, there are those teams, Duchess, UDK, Pythian, and a single damager. And those can stall the fights rather long if you don't have enough damage to kill them. So this guy will be able to solve those. But provided you can kill someone first, right? And against those teams, getting that first kill can be nasty. Depends on the damager. And some people just use, another tanky character on top. So they don't try to beat you. They just don't die and, make you concede if the fight goes on too long. So you have to make sure that you can kill someone. About the champion, so guys, it is generally very hard to, properly, foresee the potential of the champion without the multipliers, right? Because maybe the champion has, abnormally high or low multipliers, and that can, make a very big difference, because, the champion looks bad, but it actually does a lot of damage, so then he is good, right? But on average, I think he is not very good. But as I said, he might have some tag team arena use. I in general don't, I never advocate skipping fusions. So I will go for this, obviously, right? A legendary is a legendary, that's my motto, right? There is always the off chance that, this could get buffed. There is always some chance that there will be some sort of promo or some sort of special activity which will give, a high blessing for this guy. We did have it with some Wukong. You never know. Maybe there will be some sort of, Kaja timid interaction that, gets you some nice extra gift. This guy doesn't have a partner, but you never know what happens, right? And generally, fusions do not require too much effort if you are doing all the dungeon tournaments, right? Because if you do dungeon tournaments, you will generally have enough silver to do the artifact enhancements. Maybe you'll have to spend a little extra energy for the dungeon divers. Arenas are already easy. You'll have to, battle with the trainings, and of course, champion chase and summon rush will require you to save some shards. They are the most, challenging parts, because, energy does not solve that problem. It could partially solve champion chase. And we don't know what kind of fusion it is yet, I'm afraid. So if it's going to be fragments, or it's going to be fusion, or it's going to be a hybrid, like, gather fragments for epics and then fuse them into the legendary. We'll see that part. But even the specific tag team arena use, I think, is nice. You can just bring him unbooked in there. You somehow kill one enemy. They try to revive. Bang, you. Well, unbooked he's not that good, of course, because the buff removal and the weaken stays at 75% only. Has to be seen. But it's not like the most recent fusions. At least it has some potential. That's my 2 cents, and I will see you guys on stream. Bye bye.